Okay, let me hurry up. Point two, it is the seventh phase. So scar tissue is the seventh phase of reversionism. It can be the result of the sixth phase, which is the blackout of the soul. We've gone over the doctrine of reversionism. First, you began with a reaction. You get bored. You become disenchanted, disillusioned. Something about your pastor that makes you just react. Or something. Someone didn't say hi to you. Someone didn't treat you right. Some Christian woman jilted you, I don't know. And you react. As a result, second phase, you go on a frantic search for happiness. After all, we're all here looking for happiness. I don't care who you are, you're not here looking for unhappiness, unless you're a non-compos mentis. But generally, we all look for happiness, and therefore, you go on a frantic search for happiness. Stage 3 of reversionism, that frantic search for happiness creates a reaction because you realize that you're not happy. Maybe in the beginning you were happy, but afterwards you're not happy. And any of this type of reaction creates an emotional revolt. Whenever you're on a frantic search for happiness, you are looking for an emotional kick, and you realize that you're not happy, so the emotion reacts. And now phase 4, which is emotional revolt. By this time, you now have a fixed in negative volition. Whereas before in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, you were not necessarily completely negative volition. But now, most likely, which is phase 5, is negative volition. This negative volition now gets you into blackout of the soul, and the next phase is reversionism. Afterwards, you go into something called reverse process reversionism. So this works out kind of smooth, as you can see, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you just get immediately to the point of denying truth. You're immediately in cosmic 2, accumulating scar tissue. This is where both of these start kind of working together. There's an overlap between cosmic 1 and cosmic 2. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to understand, but get the idea. You deny truth, you're immediately in cosmic number 2. Cosmic number 1, gate 1, this is motivational evil. But when you deny truth, this is the sin nature gate, and this is motivational antagonism. When you deny truth, it involves a whole lot of arrogance, and a specific type of arrogance. An arrogance that involves antagonism, one that involves hatred. And so this is very important because you go against God. So now let's continue with this one. Point 3, hardness of the heart is maximum negative volition, which produces scar tissue. So again, hardness of the heart is maximum negative volition, which produces scar tissue. Point 4, when a person denies truth, he creates a vacuum by which he sucks in false doctrine. And so you deny truth and you accumulate layers of scar tissue. Let me remind you that scar tissue is language of accommodation. Your soul is invisible. You cannot feel your soul. Therefore, we must describe what goes on inside of your soul in terms of concrete terms, tangible terms. So just as you have scar tissue, and scar tissue loses the receptibility, the sensitivity towards touch, in the same way, scar tissue loses the sensitivity towards God and His principles, loses its receptibility to the point that you cannot receive it anymore, just as the Pharaoh. He denied doctrine, he denied truth so much that he got to the point that he was not able to accept the doctrine anymore. And keep in mind that this does not only happen to unbelievers, but also to believers. Sorry about that. Let me just make a little adjustment right here. I'm having a little technical problem. So yeah, you deny doctrine a little bit too much, you reach the point that you cannot accept it anymore, just as Esau did. Esau, the brother of Jacob, because he denied the truth so much, and at the end he wanted it, and he cried, and he went on an emotional tangent, whatever, and he was not able to simply believe. When you deny truth so much, God has to take you out, because you just reach a point where it just harms you, and you just keep denying, and keep denying it. I still do not know the answer as to why he takes you out. What's the necessity? I think is because you have the rest of the human race or all the people around you have to be protected from you. So I think that's the number one reason. Number one reason is the justice, has to execute justice, obviously. Secondly is to protect the rest of the human race, all those people around you. When you have too many people roaming around with scar tissue, it does cause a great harm on humanity. It hinders with people the freedom of people. Those who are positive towards doctrine will, in fact, receive attacks from those who have scar tissue of the soul, as we saw with the Jews who were negative volition. All in Acts, in the book of Acts, they kept following, persecuting those who were Christians. But yes, let me see if I can recover. I just had a technical problem here. I lost all my verses, but it's okay. Okay, point 5. This false doctrine that is sucked in is satanic doctrine from the cosmic system. So this is cosmic system. Remember, this is Satan's classroom. This is where Satan, the demon boys, communicate demon doctrine to you by means of thought transference. The demons can easily impute a thought into you when you're in the cosmic system. And there you go, thinking that it was an imputed thought from God. Oh, God, just tell me this. God, I felt this. It was the demon boys, because you're in the cosmic system, because you refuse to use 1 John 1:9 and advance by means of cognition of Bible doctrine. So when you're in the Satan's classroom, they can easily communicate information through demon telepathy, thought transference. So any information in there that goes into your soul is satanic. And it could be, remember, satanic doctrine, demon doctrine could be such things as innocent stuff. Innocent, do-good stuff. Innocent as stuff as giving yourself to taking care of the environment. There's nothing wrong with taking care of the environment as long as you keep the balance. But it could be such innocent stuff as that. You go on and take care of the environment, and inside of your soul you justify yourself as if you're executing the plan of God because you're doing something good. That's satanic. Oh yes, you bet. Something so innocent as that. You could fall for something innocent as just helping out your people around you, those in your periphery. How about getting into a system of just helping out your family? There's nothing wrong with helping out your family, let me tell you that. But the moment that you deny doctrine and you get into a system of just helping out your family, and you justify yourself, telling yourself that, okay, I'm helping out my family, therefore I'm executing the plan of God, you're out of it. See how something so innocent, which is not necessarily bad, can become satanic? It depends on the arrogance involved in it. It depends on the scar tissue. The blackout of the soul and the scar tissue. This is why God needs to punish you, and punishment is meant to hurt. Divine discipline to the believer is meant to just really wake you up. Why would God do this to me? It hurts so much. That's the point, you jackass, to catch your attention. You are too enmeshed inside of this cosmic system. Cosmic 1 is the blackout of the soul, and you're blinded. Cosmic 2, you're full of hatred towards the truth. You need something that's really going to make you reach a point of objectivity, momentary objectivity. For when you're in the cosmic system, you bet that you are subjective. You're too full of yourself, and you're too full of antagonism towards the truth. So God has to put you in a situation where you are depleted of your human resources meaning both material and mental, immaterial. So he has to put you in that situation so that you can reach a point where you're distracted away from the influence of the cosmic system, and you could be in a momentary point of objectivity so that you perhaps can make a decision to use 1 John 1:9, get back in the system and start learning doctrine. It's hard. Once you're in there too much and you have too much scar tissue, it's really difficult to get with it. Really, really difficult. Just as it's so difficult for the unbeliever who is full of scar tissue to simply believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, it's really difficult for the believer who has a lot of scar tissue to simply use 1 John 1:9 and start plugging every day, learning Bible doctrine every day. It becomes extremely difficult. So, the reason why God administers divine discipline. First phase of divine discipline, warning discipline. He gives you warning. If you do not heed, you go into second category, second phase of Divine discipline, which is intensive discipline, where it really, really hurts. This is the passage of Revelation chapter 3. I knock, here I stand out in the door and knock. Anyone who lets me in, I go in and sup with them. That is not a salvation passage. That is intensive discipline. The Lord Jesus Christ is knocking outside of your heart, telling you, let me come inside. You're out of fellowship. You're in reversionism. You're an apostate. Get back in there. Well, let me continue in the next video as soon as I've solved my technical issue right now.